Good morning and welcome to day 25 of our meditation time together. It's a little amazing to me, 25 days of doing this and how easy this practice has become for me, and hopefully for you as you're following along. So let's begin. Let's see what is here for us today. There has been so much coming up in my own meditation before arriving here, and I'm just excited to see what comes forward. All right, let yourself land wherever it is that you do your meditations. So feel yourself arriving into your body, feeling your body settled on the floor, the chair, standing up, your bed, wherever you are. Let yourself almost surrender to the support that is around you, underneath you. So often we kind of keep ourselves a little above, right? When we sit down, we're sort of on the haunches, like a dog would be, kind of sitting up at alert, ready, prepared in case something maybe would go wrong. What if today you just surrender and allow yourself to be fully supported by the surface that you're sitting on? So what that might look like is to feel every muscle start to relax, trusting that the ground is not going to give underneath you. The chair is not going to suddenly snap or break where you're sitting. The bed is solid. It's not going to give if you relax every single muscle. And then notice the muscles that are still tight, right? Almost immediately, I always notice my jawbone. The jaw is the pain ridge. It's where we hold stories and pain for ourselves and other people. And that's usually where I feel tension, right, is in my jawbone. So as you relax all of the muscles in your body, notice the ones that are resisting. And then see if you can just love them a little bit. Just allow them to soften tiny bit by tiny bit. And then create a pathway so that if there is energy that's ready to move, or pain that wants to be released, or story that wants to make its way out of your body, give it a pathway to follow. So you can just visualize in your head, there's a line of energy, a tube inside of you, like a plumbing tube. And it can just go straight down from the top of your head, all the way through your body, down to your hip bones, and then divide into two, and then run all the way down your legs to your feet. And then you connect your feet into the earth. So if you're sitting, you just really dig your feet in, and then open up the bottoms of your feet so that the tubes can release into the earth. If you're laying down on a bed, you may need to visualize like a plumbing tube, right? The little curved ones that they use at connector points. And then that runs down into the earth. If you're sitting cross-legged in a yoga pose, you can visualize that those tubes go all the way down through, and then perhaps there's an outspout at your ankle bones where your ankles are resting against the floor. Good. And then in this moment, what if you could just start to release any of the places that still feel tight? Right? So for me, I'm going to wiggle my jaw, yawn, right? Stretch the jawbone a little bit. And then just visualize that energy running down through my body, all the way through the tubing down to my legs. And then out to be released, out into the earth to let it be purified. Yeah, do one more scan of your body, anywhere that still has a contraction or feels tight. Just kind of feel in your space where that might be. tightness or contraction to move, to open, to release down through your body, all the way down to your feet or your ankles, and then out into the earth. If you've done a few of these meditations, you'll know the answer to this question. But if you're new to this, why would the earth want to receive the toxicity that we don't want to keep, or the contraction that we don't want to hold in our body? Right? And I keep getting the same message in my own meditation over and over and over. That is part of how we will heal this planet. Right? The earth is recycling the human waste in so many forms, in so many versions. But energetically, that is this purification process that so many healers are talking about this year. We are purifying ourselves, our souls, our energy systems by releasing into the earth. And then the earth is actually recycling, rejuvenating, purifying all of that wasted energy, that heavy energy, that density. And the earth, it's a planet that is able to do that. So our releasing that into the earth is actually going to speed up the process of healing on this planet. I know, it seems crazy, right? It doesn't seem like it makes any sense, but it's the same message over and over, and I trust it. I trust it and I share it. Good. So connect back in with your breath. Slow the pace down. If anything I said just rubbed you the wrong way or doesn't make sense, okay. Feel whatever emotion or contraction that might bring up, and then see if you can just run that down and out through your body. Just move the energy around, move it out. Good. All right. Well, that's going to lead us right into the topic that's presented itself, which is trusting. It's the one that was most present in my meditation, so I guess I should have trusted the trusting. So I'll share a quick version of how this plays out for me, and then I'd like to spend the rest of the time exploring how it can serve you or support you in something you're looking at in your life. So for me, trusting has become a learned process, right? So I would say I was a fairly trusting person for most of my life. You know, you tell me something, I believe you. You show me friendship, I'm going to honor and be in that friendship, right? Like I'm pretty, I wouldn't say gullible, but trusting. And then there's this next level of it. So when I started my own business in November, December, I had no plan, no idea what it was going to look like. I had many clients that, you know, came with me into this individual business I was starting, but no plan for it. And what I did was I started meditating more. So an hour a day. At the time, it felt like forever. And now I promise you, an hour is like 10 minutes to me. It's like I sit down and the hour is over already. But what I have uncovered in all of that time with myself is that there's a momentum at force in our lives. There's a natural flow or rhythm that our souls want us to follow. And when we resist it, when we question it and debate it and argue it and fight with it, we spin, we start to get stuck. We get frustrated, the blocks become heavier, everything looks dense. It's a very confusing, frustrating space for us to live in, and it's also very comfortable, right? Like everyone else is doing that. Everyone else is talking the same language, so we all get to speak the same words about how hard things are, and it never makes sense, and why they aren't easy, and nobody has my back, right? We have so many real feeling stories about it. And what I have found in meditation is it's not that way in the highest potential. So our souls are naturally taking us towards this place of expansion and fullness and wholeness. And if we can trust that process, we will be guided more clearly than we even believe possible. So, an example, for me, how it's played out, I've liked meditation. I've liked leading small group meditations. And what I kept getting in my own meditation the beginning of this year is start meditating more and leading more people through it. And so all my doubts came up, right? Of course, why would I do that? That's crazy. Nobody wants to listen to me. And I just keep trusting. And what has unfolded is this process that I'm in, which has been profound and beautiful. And then this awareness of larger scale, more people meditating in a group that I guide. And the more I sit in meditation, the clearer the vision of it, the picture of it is. And so I shared that yesterday. It's called Soul Shine. Gosh, even just saying it makes my heart smile. It's called Soul Shine, and I start it next week on Sunday. And the reason I bring it up is because this is the purest example of trusting that I could show you. My husband, my family, my friends, several people have said to me, it doesn't make sense. I don't like the model. I don't think it's going to work. You're doing all these things wrong. If that doesn't work, let's get a backup plan, right? And here's what I most would love to share with you today, or have you touch the vibration of. I trust, I know in my heart, I know in my soul, that community already exists in some potential form. It already exists. All of the people who are going to be gathering and doing that meditation work together because they crave that community, that connection in a different way, it already exists. The vibration, the energy of it, it's already created. And all I am doing is aligning myself with that. I'm trusting each step as it comes forward in my own meditation space. And I'm letting that trust guide me. I'm flowing with that. So some days I don't do anything to work on it. Other days, like yesterday, I mean, almost all of it just fell into place in a matter of 4 or 5 hours. It's unfolding in and around and through me. And I'm trusting the process. So what I would love to look at with you is something that you have been craving to trust, that you've been almost dying to trust, but you're afraid. You're afraid of what that could be for yourself. So go ahead and connect back into your grounding. Feel yourself right here, connected to the earth. All of the fear and doubts, you can just run them down that pathway, all the way to your feet and out. And then I want you to come, if you would like, you don't have to do this. I would love for you to come to your heart space and see if you can feel a wish, a hope, a dream, a pulling, a longing that is constantly right in front of you at your fingertips, but you're scared to touch it. So maybe it's a relationship, right? You've been longing for a love partnership. Maybe it's clarity on what your gift is in this world. Maybe it's a healthy body. Yeah, see if you can make it somewhat tangible in front of you. Right, so maybe it's a picture or a word. Yep, if the doubt starts to come up that it's not even worth the time to look at, just run that doubt through your body, down to your feet and out. Yeah, and then come back to that pull, that longing, that knowing that it is a potential that exists somewhere in this lifetime that you're living. All right, and what we're going to do is start to put some, I want to use the word infrastructure, right? Some foundation, some framework around it. So let's start with the words that you use, right? All right, so if you can visualize it in front of you and maybe just move it 5 feet in front of you, a little further away so you can see it with better perspective. Give yourself a little bit of distance from it so you can see it and understand it more. And then just start to put words to it. So, yeah. Often our words are, I want that thing. And then we go to, why can't I have that thing? I'll never get that thing. And in 3 sentences, you've completely separated yourself from the belief that it exists. Right? So see it in front of you. If it's a relationship, you can visualize yourself holding hands with this person that you've always known is somewhere in this world. Right? If it's a job, you can visualize yourself dressed for that job, standing at the door to walk into wherever it is you're going to work. And then start to look at the words. All right, so instead of I want that thing, one of my favorite phrases is I am becoming. I am becoming. Right? If you want to go a step further, you can go I am. I find that that's a really big leap for me. So I am becoming. For soul shine, I was using the words I am building. I'm already building. Right? When I shared it yesterday, it's even a little further. It's like this is a community. It's already a community. It already exists. So feel your language, your words, and notice what else needs to be adjusted. Right? So when you start to say things like, I can't, or I should, or I wish, you separate yourself. Can you feel how the trust is not there, that it's coming? It's more wishing, right? There's an old song, wishing and hoping, praying. Yeah, what if we trust that it's already in existence? It's already created. I've heard this from so many leaders and speakers, and I'm sure you've heard this also, but there's this phrase, the way of saying it, if you see it, if you can visualize it, if you can picture it in your head, it's already a possibility or a potential for you, or that picture would never have even been able to be created by your mind. It is an alternate potential existence that you're just tapping into and trusting can arrive and move towards you, and you can move towards it. Yeah, so see if there's anything else in your language in this moment that you want to notice or shift. Sometimes we try to put deadlines on things, right? And that's a limitation also. So the I am becoming feels expansive because you're always going to continue becoming more of that. Right? I already have I have this amazing love relationship with my husband, and we are becoming more and more of that every day. There is more being shared, more trust being built, more love being expanded upon. So even when you think you have that thing that you want, you can become even more beyond that. In The Untethered Soul, Michael Singer talks about infinite and going beyond. And he said, we put these limits on ourselves And infinite, it never expires or ends or has an edge to it. It just keeps going. Right? So that thing that you want that feels like it's right out of touch, it's absolutely within touch when you put yourself in alignment with it, when you put yourself on the path towards it, when you trust it's already arriving, it's already coming. And then once it comes, there's more. There's even more. And then it expands and it becomes beyond and infinite. That's trust, right? That's trust. It's not only will I get the thing that I am so excited and passionate about, but there's even going to be more after that, right? It's going to continue to expand and expand. So pay attention to your words. Pay attention to the language that you're using when you feel into that thing that you're moving towards, that you're wanting to create and choosing for yourself. All right, the next piece is grounding. When we're in our heads and we're thinking about that thing that feels out of reach, the energy is up, right? The energy is in the mind and it's swirling and moving, and so there's a lot of activity up at the mind or the brain level. So what you can do in this moment as you visualize that thing in front of you that you're craving or aligning yourself with, run all of the energy in your body in this moment. Just drop all of it down to your feet. Yep. And then feel the roots growing from your feet. And just imagine tree roots that are going to go 100 feet into the dirt underneath your home or wherever you are right now. If you're laying on a bed, you can just visualize from the bedposts, roots go down 100 feet down, and then spread them a mile wide. So just imagine when the roots hit the dirt, they're so excited to have all the nutrients and the support and the power of the earth around them that they multiply. And so you have roots going in every direction from underneath you for a mile out. Yep. And then slowly let your body relax. Sometimes we hold really tense. That's you actually allowing support. So instead of resisting it, what if you just surrender to being supported? And then that thing that you're craving or aligning with, imagine you can put roots, just like you did from your physical body. You can visualize roots from the bottom of that. So if it's an image of you at your future job, or if you're needing a new car, right? Visualize that thing that you're aligning yourself with, and then put roots from the bottom of it all the way down into the ground, 100 feet down, and then a mile wide. And then notice how those roots overlap with your roots underneath the ground. Yeah, and it's another way to energetically align yourself with what you're moving towards. And again, I come back to the word trust, right? All of this is based upon trusting. Trusting yourself, trusting the universe, trusting alignment, trusting in abundance of the planet. Yeah. Yeah. Check back in with your breath. Slow your breathing down. Feel your own grounding again, your own rooting. Good. All right, so language, grounding. And then the word I'm getting is a little bit of play, a little bit of magic, a little bit of fun, right? There's a way that I could align myself with soul shine as it's that thing I have to do. It's the next thing on my list. I need to be productive. I need to serve the world, right? So there's this thing that I'm going to do. And it's so far from that, right? Soul Shine was actually inspired by the Allman Brothers Band song, which is so upbeat and fun and light, right? And so in my meditations, the name would come up and I would go, oh, that's like so bright and peppy. And right? Who wants to gather for that? You know, it should be something more serious, something very soul like. And what I kept coming back to is that's actually such a match with my energy, right? Like, I like light, I like shine, I like bright, I like happy. And I started listening to the song. And this week, as everything really started to fall into place, I've listened to that song over and over. YouTube cut me off. Like, it started to move me to another song, and then it told me there was an error because I had listened to it too many times. But there was an energy, a joy, a peppiness, a vibration that the song kicked up in me, that it lit a fire inside of me. And every time I would hear the song, I would feel the delight of what that community is going to feel like for me and for people who are in there. And so there was this buzz in my body, this vibration is really the best word. There was just a vibration of absolute joy. And so as I was creating all of the pieces for it, I would play that song. I would bring in the magic and the fun and the play and the joy into my process. And that increased how much I trusted what was being created. When I shared it on Facebook yesterday, I had this song on my computer and it was cranked up and I was literally like dancing in my seat as I hit, publish or post or whatever the word is. I was so excited, right? It's that magical spark. I trust in that magical spark of creativity, of alignment. So feel that for yourself as you visualize this thing that you want to move towards and align with. What sparks it in you? Right? If you're a hands-on tangible person, it might be you need to put your hands into clay or your hands on chalk or paint. If you're someone who works outside, you might need to get your hands in the dirt, right? If you're like me and you like water, you might need to sit in a bath. You might need to swim in the ocean. There might be something magical, tangible, physical that you can do. Sing, dance, walk, hug, kiss, whatever it is. See if you can feel what would support you with a little bit of magic and play and fun. And then commit to however much of that you want to commit to so that you align yourself with your path faster. Once a day, once a week, once an hour, whatever it is, trust the message you're getting that's going to align you with this higher purpose of yourself. And then my invitation is, go do that thing. Go do that thing. Like now, next hour, soon, today. Do that thing that is going to light you up. And trust that there's a reason it came through today. Whew. All right, so run any last pieces of energy through your body, down to your feet. Any resistance, anything that got kicked up during this exercise, just run it down and out into the earth. She's waiting to receive it. And then you can stay here and play some more with this. Enjoy this process. See what other wisdom is ready to be presented. And then take some inspired action. Trust it and act on it. And let me know. Let me know how it goes. All right. So much love from me to you. Have a beautiful weekend.